Christmas morning, my mother asked, "Why does your daughter thank your husband for letting her eat?" I froze with a coffee mug halfway to my lips. "What do you mean, thank him?" My mother's face was pale as she stared toward the kitchen, where my 6-year-old Lily had just finished her pancakes. She walked up to Derek, curtsied like a little princess, and said, "Thank you for letting me eat breakfast, Daddy." My mother turned to me slowly. "She does that every meal." I set my mug down carefully, my mind racing. "Mom, she's just being polite. We're teaching her manners." But my mother wasn't buying it. Polite is saying thank you for the food. Thanking someone for letting you eat is something else entirely. Derek walked in from the kitchen, wiping his hands on a towel. That charming smile plastered across his face. "Everything okay in here?" I looked at him, really looked at him, trying to see what my mother apparently saw. He'd always been strict about mealtimes. Structure is important for children, he'd say. But it was normal, wasn't it? My mother pulled me aside while Derek took Lily to open presents. Her grip on my arm was urgent. "How long has this been going on? Mom, you're overreacting. She's just thanking him for making breakfast." My mother shook her head firmly. "I raised 3 children. None of them ever thanked me for permission to eat. That's not gratitude. That's fear wrapped in good behavior." I wanted to argue, but something cold started spreading through my chest. Little moments I'd dismissed began surfacing. The way Lily always looked at Derek before taking a bite of anything. How she'd stopped asking for snacks and only ate exactly what was on her plate. The tantrum she threw last month that I thought was about toys, but started when Derek said she hadn't earned dinner yet. I'd assumed it was a parenting technique. Consequences for behavior. Derek had explained it so reasonably. Children need to learn that food isn't free. They need to appreciate what they're given. I'd nodded along because he was confident and I was exhausted, and it seemed to make sense at the time. I walked into the living room where Lily was opening a present, but she kept glancing at Derek before tearing each piece of wrapping paper, like she needed approval for everything. My father noticed it too now. He leaned over to my mother and whispered something. Derek caught the exchange and his jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. "Lily, sweetheart," I said softly, kneeling beside her. "Are you hungry? Do you want a snack?" Her eyes darted to Derek immediately. That automatic check-in I'd seen 1,000 times but never questioned. "Daddy, can I have a snack?" Derek's smile didn't reach his eyes. "Did you finish all your breakfast?" "Yes, Daddy. Every bite like you said." "And did you earn snack privileges today?" Lily's bottom lip trembled. "I don't know. I tried to be good." My mother made a sound like she'd been punched. I felt the room tilt sideways. "Derek," I said carefully, "what does earning snack privileges mean?" He laughed, but it sounded hollow. "It's just our system. She gets treats when she behaves, consequences when she doesn't." My father stood up slowly. "What kind of consequences?" Derek's mask flickered. "Normal ones. Timeouts. Early bedtime. Sometimes skipping dessert, or sometimes skipping meals." My mother's voice was sharp as glass. Lily tugged my sleeve, her voice tiny. "Mommy, am I in trouble?" I picked her up, holding her close. "No, baby, you're not in trouble. Can you tell Grandma about the food rules?" Lily recited them like a poem she'd memorized. "Breakfast is earned by making my bed. Lunch is earned by being quiet during Daddy's work calls. Dinner is earned by finishing all my chores. If I cry, I lose the next meal. If I complain, I lose too." She said it so matter-of-factly, like every child lived this way. Derek's face had gone completely still. "She's exaggerating. Kids make things up." "I'm not making it up," Lily whispered. "Last week I cried because I missed Mommy and I didn't get dinner for 2 days. You said tears cost calories." The room exploded. My father grabbed Derek by the collar. My mother was already on the phone with someone. I clutched Lily so tight she squeaked. Derek tried to explain that he was teaching her discipline, that she needed structure, that I was too soft and someone had to prepare her for the real world. But his voice was getting desperate, his explanations falling apart. I thought about all the times I'd worked late, trusted him with bedtime routines, believed him when he said Lily had already eaten. She'd been getting thinner. I'd blamed a growth spurt. She'd been getting quieter. I'd blamed shyness. He'd been starving my daughter as punishment, and I'd been too blind to see it. My mother hung up the phone. "Police are on their way. I'm also calling your lawyer." Derek lunged toward Lily. "She needs to tell them she was exaggerating." But my father blocked him, 62 years old and ready to fight. "You don't get to touch her. You don't get to speak to her. You're done." When the officers arrived, Lily whispered to me, "Mommy, will I get dinner tonight even if I talked about the rules?" I broke down completely, promising her she'd never go hungry again. Derek was escorted out in handcuffs, still insisting he was just being a good father. My mother held us both while my father gave his statement. 3 months later, I have full custody, a restraining order, and a daughter who's finally learning that food isn't a reward.